Hello, today we're going to make a Chinese pagoda, and that's in honor of the upkeeping holiday Chinese New Year. And as you can see, the architecture is very different than what we're used to in America. And you can see there's several different tiers to the building and the way the roof curves up. That's very distinctive of Chinese pagodas. Now, they are sacred buildings, and they're found in India and East Asia. So this is good practice to do symmetrical drawing. And a good hint always for symmetrical drawings is to fold your paper in half. I just do a light fold. And then I'm going to do a light fold in half the other way too. Now the examples that I gave you, some of them have 3 levels, like this one, and some have 4 levels. You can put on whatever number that you want, but I'm going to work with the 3. So I'm going to start with the first roof. I'm going to put it in here. Then there'll be a band, another roof, band, another roof, and then last band. And I can see right here, it's my middle line here. I want half of it on this side, half of it on the other. So I'm going to start with a straight line, and then I'm going to try to make symmetrical. So that means the same on the left as the right. Those dips up, and I'm going to come down for a curve here and down for a curve here. Then I'm just going to put a little detail of just something fancier on top. Now, a lot of decisions like this can be up to you of how you decide to do them. I'm kind of not liking my dip on that side, so I'm going to take one more try at it. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, then I'm going to come down. I'm almost creating a square the way I'm drawing it. So if that would be a square, then this side should also be. And a line across. I broke my pencil. So I've got another one here. I'm going to do line across. Now whenever I do line across, I'm trying to make it parallel to the top or the bottom. Now in my first level, I'm going to put these bands here, these pillars. You could skip that and just put windows in there. You've got the freedom to choose windows, pillars, shape of windows, door, those type of things you can decide. And you can decide if you want to show this is made out of wood planks or whatever material you'd like. You could put like scallops on the roofs. So be thinking about those details as you're moving along. Okay, I'm ready for my next turn up. Now, if you're noticing, these are extending out further because as you go down, they're going to get bigger and bigger. I'm going to try my little trick here of measurement, and that lets me know I should come out a little further. Okay, now I'm at my halfway point, and I'm gonna go just about on that fold. I'm gonna come up. I can see I went up a little different angle there. Gonna dip down more. I think that looks better. Okay, I've got 2 roofs and 1 center section. I'm ready to move on to my next section. So again, that fold helps us decide the same apart to the left. The wall that comes down should be the same as what it shows on the right. I'm getting a little bigger. Then I'm going to do a parallel line. Now, if I were you, I would draw these lines really light so that you can erase as needed. I'm going to go ahead and put another parallel line for the bottom level, which is also the biggest. I'm going to come in and come out quite a bit more. You can see every level I'm making little changes. They don't have to be perfect, but you want to give the idea that they're pretty close to the same size. And here's my last level. So smaller, medium, bigger. And I'm going to do pillars in the top. So I'm going to start with parallel line on each side. And I'm going to do one in the middle. So that fold helps me again, that middle fold. And then right in the middle of those, I'm going to do another one. And as I've said, you could put windows there instead. Now on the next level, I am going to put windows. And you could put square windows. You could put any number of windows. I'm going to put in 2 with an arch. Now my last level, I'm going to put a platform that the whole house is sitting on. And I'm going to do my front door. You can choose the shape and add in door, windows, whatever you'd like. You might have other ideas like more pillars. You think about parts of a house and you can put on anything you'd like. Now we want to think about the background. And you could have a river in front and hills and mountains or trees. You could have trees that have cherry blossoms in it because that's an Asian type of plant. Or other details that you might think of. I'm going to do an arched bridge over a river. So I'm going to have it come out near the doorway. So I'm going to start it out like here. Then I'm going to put a river in. Got to move that down. And then here's the arch. Arch, arch, and then the top arch. That's the handrail. And then I'm going to put in the other side, like similar to how the pillars are. Now, if you do this kind of a bridge, all the handrails should be parallel and perpendicular to the side. They don't go down like this. Okay, now beyond this, I'm just going to add some rolling hills. I guess we would see this between the pillars. And I'm going to put some mountains in. And if you like the outline in black, you can do that, or you can go right ahead to your coloring. Now, you might like to use colored pencil for some of the smaller details. Let's get some colored pencils here. I'm going to work at my coloring so that I'm going the same direction as the shape of the roof. It takes more time to go the same direction and to keep in mind the line will show, so you want to have a nice even line. And you might want to mix colors. You know that I always love to do that. And then you can be really looking at your white spots and filling them in. You could have all the roofs the same. I think I want a little more variety, so I'm going to put colors that are close together, but just a little bit different. I'm going to put orange on top to make them a little closer. You could also do this in crayons or markers. So I usually think in terms of about half my time is drawing the picture and half my time is in coloring. So see how I'm carefully coloring in so I won't make a mess of it and go into the next shape, even if I have to make that wall. I'm going to draw both of my house sections the same color. And I'm going to do the shadows in here, just a darker version. But you do not have to do that. You can choose. So, let's see, maybe I'll just get this base on a little bit, part way anyway. And then for the background, I was thinking maybe you'd like to watercolor it. So you decide, it's up to you. But if you would like to do that, it is helpful to have more than one size of brush. So I usually have a few sizes. And when I have a big area like the sky, I can get that done and in there quicker. So I just carefully go around there, pick up more paint. I like to be able to paint off the paper, so get something underneath that would be all right. Don't want you to paint up your table at your house. As soon as it starts to get dry, add a little water. Watercolor is really fun, but you do have to spend a little more attention to how you're putting your color in, because once it dries, that's what it is. And you want to look nice and neat and pretty. Pencil, you can go slow and careful and get it in just how you want it. Watercolor, you have to kind of go fast. And that will just take a few minutes to dry. I'm going to say these mountains at the top are snow covered. So I'm going to do the bottom part gray. So how do we make gray? Well, I'm sure you know it's water with a lot of black. You can see I'm mixing that in there until I get a gray I'm happy with. Then I'm going to come in here and just kind of sweep it up. I kind of like how that is swirling around in there. I think that looks interesting. Sometimes I like to have a little paper towel around to scoop up where I think I did a little too much. And I got to get in between here. If you put your line in a different spot, then you wouldn't have to worry about this. But where I've got it, I do need to worry about it. See, I'm kind of zigzagging up there. I've got my last one in here. And always look back and notice if there's some area that you need to work on getting again. Alrighty. Then I'm going to move on to the water in the bridge. I'm going to make it kind of bluish greenish. Let's see. I'm going to go kind of across because water likes to sit. The way it sits is the thing that most resembles the water is if you go left to right, left to right. Oh, and now I'm thinking about it. You would see the water between the slats of the bridge. So let me get in there real quick. You wouldn't see them on this side because the slats just show what's in between, which is the bridge. Gonna get that brown with my little teeny brush. Okay, now the rest I'm going to do green. And I'm going to do, I think, lighter to darker. You could do darker to lighter or lighter to darker, but if you show a little bit of difference like that, then it looks more far away. So what did I say? Lighter to darker? I'm going to start with a green yellow. I'm going to need a lot. Okay, I'm going to kind of follow the round of that hill. I'm going to try to do the same side, the left side, so it looks like the right side. Okay, so what do I need to start doing now? I need to start making it darker. So how would I make it darker? If it's yellow, green now, what would make it darker? Well, one way would be just to add more straight green. I'm kind of blending it up so it doesn't make a stripe. And then the next darker color that I could add would be blue. I'm gonna test that out. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't really want to go any bluer because it's already similar to the water there. So I'm going to actually come back and add a little more green. Come in here. I want to take that stripe out. Just some water a lot of times is all you need to take the stripes out. And if you would like, you could even take your paints and go over what you what you use colored pencil with, and that could give a really nice effect. I'm liking that. Well, I hope you have so much fun doing your Chinese pagoda. Be thinking about Happy New Year's for Chinese people. Bye-bye.